got really progressive there for a minute in size inclusivity. And then now all of a sudden there's been another shift back. Like you're right. Like the plus size models that are walking runway now, they're always the same girls. And that's great. Keep walking. However, let's keep you walking and they were adding in other girls. And now it's like none at all. Like the statistics of the fashion week and how much of a percentage of curve models were included. It's like 1%.
The plus size models that you do see, these clothes can be custom for them, but it's not necessarily things that you find in the store.
Yes.
So it's definitely celebrating that particular model, but not necessarily celebrating the people that look like the model.
I've also had people in the freelance world that were competition do really shady stuff to me and to sabotage to get jobs that I was booking. These are like some very famous artists. No, I can't.
Welcome back to Blonde Highlights. We are so excited you're here this week. We have a very special guest. We have the most beautiful, stunning model. I'm so excited. She's a Ford model. She's a plus size model, and her name is MJ. And we're so excited you're here. Hi,
guys. Thank you so much for having me on. It's so nice to meet you, and I'm so excited for your podcast.
I am so excited to have you on here. MJ and I have known each other, I guess, sort of virtually, like just online for a few years now. We actually worked, and we kind of pieced this together last year. We worked together on a bra campaign. I believe it was Just My Size.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Yes.
I do remember this. Yes.
And yes, that's how we first connected. And then we've seen each other just in the industry. So it's really great. We are with the same agency. So I'm just so excited you're here.
So you guys met on a bra campaign, and I recently just had my bra campaign moment.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. Just so you know, Kyle's going viral on TikTok, and like the whole world needs to know right now.
Oh my gosh, I heard about that in one of your last episodes.
Oh, the way that we over exaggerate everything. But no, I did a TikTok video, like ad for a bra, and it went like crazy viral. And so now we sell bras for a living.
Yeah, we're all connected by a bra. Have fun.
There's a theme here. I guess bras are it.
Yes.
Yes.
So what's going on? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm here on the East Coast. Weather is just beautiful. It's stunning. It's full on spring. Trees are in bloom. We're going into summer.
Finally.
I mean, Kyle, you live full time in LA, right?
Yes, I live full time in LA. Yeah, but I'm from kind of the East Coast.
Okay.
I love an East Coast summer.
Oh my gosh, it's very exciting. Everybody, I mean, just on the weekends, everyone's out bike riding, walking, running, doing everything. The summer dresses are out. It's very exciting here. So I'm very happy.
Isn't it so funny when all of a sudden summer comes around and you're like, oh my God, I forgot about that person. Like I haven't literally seen that person since last summer. Like my one neighbor, we have a running joke that like we hibernate all winter. And I just saw her for the first time probably 2 weeks ago. And she was like, oh my God. She's like, how are you doing? It's been forever. She's like, I almost forgot about you. I was like, kid, thanks. We still live next door, but whatever.
That's literally me. I'm like, okay, it's summer. We're going to shave the legs and leave the house.
That's it. Okay, so you have some exciting news. You are going to a very cool concert. Do you want to tell us about this? Like, what is going on?
Oh my gosh, stop the presses. I am going to the Cowboy Carter show here in MetLife. Okay.
Oh my God, this is so exciting. Oh my God, okay, so when did you get your tickets? Like, tell us through the whole process. What happened? What are you wearing? Like, fill us in.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I got my tickets around Valentine's Day, and I'm so excited about going because I haven't been to a Beyonce concert since, which album was it? The one with the big hat.
Okay. Yeah.
Hat. Yeah. Oh, that's the Louisiana one where I got hot sauce in my bag swag. right?
Yes,
yes, yes, yes, yes.
Tell the
Yes.
the Formation Tour, yes.
Yes.
Don't tell the Beehive. I haven't been since. And I missed going to Renaissance, and I regret it to this day. So I wasn't going to miss this one. And I happen to be a big fan of country music. So I just love that Beyonce has a whole country album. I can't wait. I have hats. Okay, a little show and tell.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I have goosebumps. That is amazing.
So I have a few hats from some clients that I work with, and so I'm trying to decide. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do the white one, but let me show you the options here.
Oh my God.
Oh,
So
that
got
is.
oh,
With the
Right here.
crosses.
this is stunning.
And then this one, okay. I actually have a little
Oh my
hat
God.
stretcher in here.
Stop
I can't really
it.
put this on fully, but you can see it has pearls right here.
That is beautiful.
Oh my God. I thought at first
Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
little lights. I was like,
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I'm just gonna do like a crazy in love kind of look, white t-shirt, jeans.
Mhm.
I'm going to attempt to make chaps out of old jeans, but if I'm not
Oh my God.
successful, just jeans will do.
Yes.
I'm gonna need to see this whole. When are you going?
The Memorial Day weekend, so the 24th.
Oh
Man,
wow.
it's amazing.
Saturday.
Oh my gosh. You know, you should just get a huge bag and just bring all three of those hats because all of them work and you can just switch them up for each song. Like you need to maximize those hats. They're stunning.
Exactly.
You know what the funny thing is? I just went to a Charlie XCX concert and I
Oh.
was reminded that big bags are not allowed. That's a huge
Yeah.
thing. So little tiny bags, you can't even really bring water. I don't know what I'm bringing, other than my phone. So you can't bring water. So it's just going to be one hat. But
Yeah.
which one I'll pick? I don't think I can make a wrong choice here.
No,
No,
you
you
can't.
can't. They're all so good. I've been a lifelong Beehiver. And I was diehard Destiny's Child when I was a kid.
Well, that's the last time I
Oh
saw
my gosh.
Beyonce live was when she was with Destiny's Child.
Really?
Yeah, I was like 13 years old or something.
I was devastated when they split up because I was also a really big Kelly Rowland fan too.
Oh my gosh, Kelly is just so stunning and so talented. I
Mhm.
love the road that she took where she's doing more like a European kind of thing where she does European tours. She's very popular over there.
Yes, and I've seen her do a lot of gay club shows back in the 2010s when she did a lot of gay club kind of music and she would hit the clubs and perform. I've seen her perform in a club several times.
Oh my God, that's so cool. Oh
Oh
my
wow. And what was it like? It was
So we're
Yes.
like, don't leave us hanging. Tell us details.
No, I mean just beyond ecstatic. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're so exciting for you. Kyle's gonna jump out of her seat though as soon as you said that you went to a Charlie concert.
I know those are my two favorite things. I'm not a big concert person because I get really claustrophobic. But I would go
Yep.
I would go see the Brat tour and I would definitely go see Cowboy Carter. And I think I missed the LA shows. One of my good friends for the Renaissance tour, her mom got one of the sky boot, the booth things. What do they call that?
Mhm.
That little area. And they were in the one next to Meghan Markle and Harry when they saw the Renaissance
it.
tour. Yes.
Oh, okay. First of all,
Oh my
you mean
gosh.
Duchess now?
No,
Duchess
the
Meghan.
Duchess. I'm
Duchess
sorry.
Meghan.
Yeah, Duchess Megan.
Isn't it
Yeah.
funny that you still call me Megan and I'm the Duchess?
Yeah, it's so funny. So funny.
I love her
You
too.
know.
You know what? What else is funny is the last concert that I went to was Motley Crue. And this was
Oh.
2 years ago. I went with my brother. I got nosebleed tickets. And by the end of the concert, we were 4 people away from the stage. Mission Impossible. I am a menace at concerts. I love classic rock concerts. I've seen
Mhm.
Guns N' Roses. I've seen Van Halen. I've done the whole scene. I saw Stevie Nicks and oh, that was so good. But
Mhm.
oh my gosh.
My last concert was Shania.
Ooh.
Oh, what is she
Mhm.
like? What's her biggest hits? I feel like I just remember the kind of songs that she got really, really famous for when
Yeah.
she was in that pop era.
Yeah.
It was a lot of that.
That don't impress me.
Much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think you're Brad Pitt?
Yeah. Yes. No, but she changed it. Who did she change it to recently?
I forget.
Oh,
But she was fun. Like the thing is that a lot of people were like so turned off by this last tour she did because she was like experimenting with her look. Like she was really trying different kind of outfits. She was wearing, you know, she wore some like straight long wigs. She like really switched up the wigs. She really switched up the outfits. And like people were like, that's not Shania. Like, what is she going through? And I'm like, no, she's just having fun.
Yeah, she's just having a good time. She changed it to Ryan Reynolds.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
a good one. He's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your highlight this week?
My highlight is actually Mother's Day. So I'm not a mom.
Okay.
But I of course I celebrate my own mother, and we had just a wonderful moment. I gave my mom a gift and a really personal card this year that touched her deeply. And I have to say I was just really, of course, proud of myself. But my father had touched on this bigger idea that he's like, you know, you have such a great talent to be able to touch people in an emotional way, and you know, writing something so personal. It's a highlight of yours. It's a talent of yours. It's something that you should really embrace. And I really appreciated that perspective from my dad. It was the first time I had heard something like that, for him to tell me that, and it got me really thinking. Just about what my talents are, what I bring to the table, and what kinds of things do people really enjoy about me. So I just felt very affirmed, and I also felt very happy to have a wonderful, touching moment with my mom.
Oh, that's so special. You know what? Those moments, those are something that you'll cherish forever, and your mom will cherish that moment. Like, that is beautiful. And I love that something that was so genuine has come off as one of your talents. Like, I think that that's really special. And I think like reflecting on that and sort of diving in and tuning into that, I think that's a wonderful idea. That's such a highlight.
And it is such a talent too, because that's something that doesn't come natural to me. Like I'm the worst. I'm like, okay, this is hard for me. Like I'm proud of you. Like
yeah, she can't have a moment.
It's hard for me to have, like, it's hard for me to express. There's sometimes I want to express the way that I feel like so fondly about somebody, but I just can't come to the words or the know-how, or even sometimes the courage to be vulnerable to do that like that. And it really is such a talent. You could work on some like some stationery or like cards or something, and help people like me out with that.
Well, thank you so much. I was brainstorming just some ideas on how to exactly expand that into something that could be something I share with other people. And yeah, it was just a really nice moment. It's always nice when your parents say kind things about you. But I know exactly what you're saying, Kyle, that it can be very hard to be vulnerable. And I definitely have those moments as well. But, you know, the more you practice, you know, the more vulnerable you can be.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
And do you have a low light this week?
I'd say, you know, I've been a little disappointed in myself in not finishing up my spring cleaning. I have a really big personal project of just making over my entire life. I've been going through my closets. I've been throwing things away, but I'm still not done. I've been working on this for a while. So I would say that would be the low light. I'm not done yet.
You know what? A few weeks ago, I ordered a big, giant garbage bin, and it sat outside of my house for a week. And we went through the house, and because there's things that you can donate, but then there's also things that you can't donate. Like they're done now, right? So me and the family, we went through everything, and like we chucked out I didn't even realize how much stuff we have accumulated. We filled that bin. Like, my mom came over and she was just like, where was this all? And I'm like, it was in the closets. It was under our counters. It was everywhere. And it's such a refreshing feeling just to be like, okay, I'm done. But then when you stop and look, you're like, holy shit, what did I even buy? Like, what did I even need? Like, it kind of takes you back to less is more.
Why did I buy it? And then you just see your money, just little ka-chings going into the trash. And I'm trying to think, you know, this is great for someone else, you know, someone who thrifts, or like you said, some of the things that you can't You can't donate, you just have to throw away. That's particularly difficult.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a nice feeling when it's over, and I'm glad that you got your family involved in it.
Oh yeah. I was like, listen here, boys. The boys were like so annoyed, and like us as a family, we were like kind of falling apart at one point because we were taking the boys from sharing a room to another room. We're trying to get the bed in the hall across from it was a nightmare. And at the end, we were like, okay, you know what? Let's order some pizza. Like, this is it. But yeah, I put them straight to work. I was like, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
So your boys are going into separate rooms now? That's a big deal.
Yeah, we separated them. It was a huge deal. Yes, they're so excited, and now they both have signs on their door that are like, "Stay out, don't come in." And like now we hear them fighting in the morning. It'll be like, "Get out of my room! Stop standing in my room!" But then like the older one keeps going back into the other room, and we're like, "Aiden, like this isn't your room anymore." Like, yeah. So they've really adjusted, and it's been an easy transition for them, which is great. But
okay.
yeah, what's your highlight?
My highlight is, okay, these are going to be really random. My highlight is bees. And and also the beehive. I mean, for sure the beehive, but also just bees, you know,
Yes.
like they really don't give them the credit they deserve. They're like nourishing us. They're nourishing the earth. And we really do need them to survive. And I think that they just need more credit. And I think that they're pollinating our fruits and vegetables as we speak right now. And we got to give it up to the bees.
No, you know what? I still have a personal vendetta since My Girl. Like, I can't. If you know, you know the scene of My Girl?
No.
No.
What?
What?
Have you not seen the movie My Girl with little Macaulay
Wasn't
Culkin? Oh my God, guys, really? And the kid dies from getting stung by too many bees.
No.
And
Stop it.
yes, and then she's crying over him and like his glasses. I can't even.
Way to bring down the mood.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyways.
I was just celebrating bees. You just had to call
Okay.
them the
Well,
killers.
sorry, I'm traumatized by them. So okay.
Look, I'm traumatized too, Kris. Okay, Bridgerton season 2, if you know. What happens to the Bridgerton father? Did you watch?
Oh,
With Kate and Anthony's?
yes. What
Bridgerton series?
What happened? It's coming back.
Oh no. So in season 2, Kate and Anthony, their season when they fall in love, Bridgerton Anthony, he has to take over from his father, but his father dies from a bee sting.
Yes.
Oh.
And I looked this up. Apparently, there are people who are severely allergic to bees,
Mhm.
but you only know when it happens to you.
When you get stung.
Yeah.
So of course, I mean, they're dealing with, a period piece. They didn't have the same kinds of things that we do, but this could very well happen to someone today. You may not be aware that your child
My
or that
granddad,
yourself.
that was my granddad, and he was like, I only have like. He was like, I only have a couple stings left. I was like, what does that even mean? Like, I guess the doctors were like, you can't have this happening. Yeah.
Oh my
I was like, what, you just got like one sting left and that's it?
My parents have like a rental house like next door to their house.
Mhm.
And at one point, my dad was doing some work on it, and he hit into like a bee's nest, and the bees like chased him, and he got stung like a bunch of times, and he had to go to the emergency room. And he wasn't allergic to bees; he was okay. He was swollen. It wasn't a pretty sight. It was a mess, but he was fine with that situation. But you guys will relate to this. I was doing, because I do hair, and I do a lot of freelance hair too. So I was doing a photo shoot, and it was for the cover of a magazine. And we were in this TV executive's insane mansion, and like up in the hill there was like a whole field of lavender plants, and they wanted this shot of her like kind of in this gown, and it was like the lavender plants, and so there was bees all around, and she was laying there, and we're like, just be careful, don't get stung, and she's like, I'm allergic. So I had an EpiPen on hand. But she was committed. She was like, no, we're going to get the shot.
Oh my God.
And so I was ready to give her an EpiPen if she got stung, as she was laying in lavender plants filled with bees.
What
No.
a trooper.
I mean, it was an amazing cover, but...
Oh my God.
It's worth risking your life over. I mean,
Yes. All in the name of fashion. We get it. Okay, what's your low light?
Well, I was going to say too, like she was at a TV executive's home, so that could have been a highlight for her. My low light is okay. So this studio that we're in, they also do comedy here, and I do comedy here on Thursdays. And when I was here this last week doing comedy, I was walking outside, and there was this car, and it was like a Lamborghini or Ferrari. This is some LA shit right here, and they like squealed out around the corner, like trying to show off for the girls, and it was like making all these noises, and they like were flooring it, and the car backfired. And like, this is America. So
embarrassing.
America.
So when a car backfires and it sounds like a shot, like everyone, we were all like screaming. We were about to hit the ground. And I was just like, this douchebag.
My Canadian ass didn't even go there. Literally. I wasn't getting it. Oh my God. No, that's embarrassing though.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
As you were laughing, I just heard like a car loud go down the road.
I used to have a really loud car because my mufflers, I had 2 cars, my mufflers would just fall off and I would never fix them. So my mom could hear me like coming down the road, middle of the night. Like she was like, you got to fix this. Like the neighbors are complaining. But it wasn't because I was trying to be cool. It was just like I was poor and just didn't care to fix it.
Yeah. Well, she was missing Cadillac converter, probably.
Yeah. Okay, so my highlight this week is I was hyped up by a random girl on the streets. Like I was walking and she was just like, you look so good. And I was like, oh, thank you. Like whenever I get like catcalled or anything from a man, I'm like, okay, ew. But when it's another woman telling me that I look good or she likes something, like I take that to heart. I genuinely just feel like appreciated. I feel like I get that confident boost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like girls hyping other girls. Like I love that.
Yeah.
I love that too.
It's hard for me, my social anxiety, to like just say something to a random stranger, but I try. Whenever like I see something and I feel it, like I'm like, I gotta let this person know because I know how good that feels to just be caught off guard by someone being like, you look amazing.
Yes.
And I love it. There's a scene, like, do you know Jim McCollins? British reality star.
I'm better with faces. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, there was a scene where she's in like London. She's going around and she's like, you know what, hon? You look amazing. You look fabulous, darling.
Seriously, there's nothing better than that because it's like you're not trying to impress this person. They're just naturally impressed.
Yeah.
Like I love it. So
and they don't have ulterior motives too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my low light this week is not getting jokes. Like this has been happening, especially with Kyle, because she's so funny and she says all this stuff. And like shit just goes right over my head. And I'm like, I'm just not getting it. And it's actually happened on a few of our episodes where Kyle will say a joke and it just goes right over. And you know what? Like, I'm really tired of it. And like, I just want to get all the jokes. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that I don't get all the jokes.
So when you don't get the jokes, is it just in general, like in life also, or specifically on this podcast?
Or is it just me?
No, I
didn't say that.
I don't know. I think it's in life too. Sometimes people will say a joke or they'll be whatever, and I'll just be like, like, and I don't get it, or like I need a second to process, or then sometimes I'll get it later, and then I'll be like, oh my God, that makes sense now. I get it.
I will say, in your defense, that we do live in such a world where like algorithms really play a trick on our mind. Because there's sometimes where I think that something is so common knowledge because my algorithm has made it feel like this is something that everybody's talking about and everyone knows about. And so sometimes, and in reality, it's a very niche topic. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes this is something I do a lot though, is I make a joke or something and nobody gets it because they didn't realize how niche of a topic it was. When I'm doing stand-up, sometimes I do this and I have to do it in front of people because I'm like, what do you mean you don't get it?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, that's me. I'm your audience.
Like if I quote Real Housewives all the time. And I'm like,
I never get it. Are you a Real Housewives fan?
No, my mother is though. She watches all of the seasons, the episodes, everything. I have yet to watch one. I don't know if I can do it. It's just, I'm too far behind at this point.
That's how I feel with most of them. That's how I
Yeah.
feel. But you know what okay, so we have something really in common, the three of us.
What?
We're freelancers.
Oh, yes.
Can we talk about the roller coaster ride of being a freelancer?
Lord.
Right? I mean, look, being a freelancer has all the perks. You can kind of build your own schedule. You can, you're not doing a 9 to 5 hustle, but it is a different kind of hustle, and it is different. It hits different.
Yeah, 1000%.
How do you feel your experience of being a model? Like, how do you handle that? The pressures of the freelance life? Like, what is that like for you?
So the freelance life is not for the faint of heart. It's not necessarily something that's appealing to most people, right? People want to go to a job. They want to know when they're going to get their check. And, you clock in, you clock out, you're done. You know what to expect. You have coworkers that you see every day, same people, possibly. And, you got your 401k, and your retirement, and all of the things. But, as a freelancer, I've lived a freelance lifestyle my entire adult life, and I have grown accustomed to it, and I enjoy it because I think there's something very exciting about it because you don't know what's around the corner. I like the fact that I don't have monotony. I like the fact that my days are different. The people that I work with are different. But yeah, there's definitely pros and cons. Yeah.
I definitely see that as being one of the biggest pros, is that your days are always different. And I do think that it takes a certain type of adventurous sort of person to work as a freelancer, because like you said, like everything is kind of up in the air. You don't know what's around the corner. And that for me is exciting because you don't know, like, what if something really big's coming, or do you know what I mean? And I do like the fact that I've met so many wonderful people around the world. I've met so many people that, every day is different. Like, even if you're working for the same client, they might have a totally different team for said set. So it's like, it's really cool if you're that type of person like me, who's like social. I love that I get to meet new people all the time.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite things about like when I'm doing the freelance jobs, is showing up to set, meeting new people, hearing new stories. Like I really like to like meet new people, and like this is why podcasting is great, because I like to know what makes people tick, like what's going on, and people that are thinking.
Yeah, and I think too, like, it does take a certain type of person, because there's people in my family that are like, you're crazy that you're still doing this. And I'm like, I can't do a 9 to 5. I can't have the mundane days of the week. Like, it's tricky. How do you feel like, especially in modeling, like there's so many times that you might be put forward for a job, or in your mind, there's like a specific client that you want to work for. Maybe you're holding for that job, which means that client is like interested in you. They've checked your availability to make sure that you're ready to go. How do you handle the rejection of being a freelancer?
When it comes to holds specifically, let me know if you'd like me to define the term for those who may
why
not be
don't you?
familiar.
Yeah.
So in the modeling world, you will usually go for a casting. Then from that casting, you could get a hold. I actually had a discussion with a model the other day asking, are holds real? Like,
is this like a real thing, or is it just like they're throwing us a bone for a minute?
Exactly. But yeah, Kris, the way you described it, a client does call. They request if you're available on these dates. Your agent will tell you, can you hold for these dates, or just be aware that you are holding, which means you could potentially get a job, and it could be within a time frame. It could be within a week. It could be a day. It could be a half a day. Things like that. So that will happen, and it's certainly very exciting, and absolutely it's true. You'll work, even if you are working for the same client, more than likely you're working for many different types of people, different hair artists, different stylists, different creative directors. So that part is always exciting. But when it comes to rejection that you touched on, when it comes to holds, I don't feel rejection too much because with our agency, we're with Ford Models. Our agent is really phenomenal. She just kind of has us move on to the next. So
Yes.
if the hold is not there, then because you might have a casting that day. I'm like, okay, the hold was released. If you
Yeah.
want to ask about it, you can. So for that part, I don't feel so much rejection. I'm kind of moving on to the next thing, and I might have forgotten about it.
That's something that I've kind of had to learn to sort of grow with and grow into the mindset that it's not personal, because there's been so many
Hmm.
times where I've been held for something and I would automatically, my self-worth would be like, okay, well, clearly I'm not good enough, or clearly they want this, or maybe it's because I'm this. And all of a sudden I'm going through this downward spiral of just all these different emotions of nitpicking myself and thinking to myself, it must be because I'm not enough. However, it could just be something because it's like, maybe the job isn't even happening. Maybe like they wanted a brunette, or like it could be anything. And maybe the samples didn't come in. There's so many different options. And it's just like,
Hmm.
I've had to learn that it's like, it's not personal. And you're right. And I've been with a lot of agencies, and every agency, I feel like you kind of have a different experience. And I've had a lot of positive experience with agencies. And then I've also had a lot of negative, but I also kind of look back and I'm like, I can see the sides of different things now. Like I can kind of look back and be like, okay, this was negative, but it's a positive because I actually did learn X, Y, and Z. But our agent, you're right, is very much just like, okay, it didn't work. Like she doesn't also put that added pressure on you to make you feel like, well,
Hmm.
why didn't you book this?
Yeah,
And
doesn't even mention it.
it's just like, whatever, like on to the next. You're right.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's the thing with
yeah.
my freelance, like doing hair, most of the time you're not being rejected upon your looks or the way that you present or fit a client's like model what they want
Mhm.
for, a line. Sometimes it has happened though. Sometimes I have been like, that was based because they hired me because they wanted to sleep with me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
happened to me as a hair person, but that's a niche thing.
Yeah.
but
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
referencing something in my head.
Yeah. She's having a flashback.
Yeah, you're going right there. Oh my gosh.
Yes. No.
Breaking news, live action, this is happening.
Yes. We'll drop that in the book later on. But
The tell all.
Yes.
But I have there's sometimes where like you've been offered a good job or like this may be happening, and then in the end you don't get it. And I used to tear myself to pieces and think like, oh, maybe I should change my portfolio, or this, and what is this showing? And I would eat myself alive about it. But then I really kind of realized that sometimes it is so out of my control, because being behind the camera, sometimes it's simply that, there was a friend that they did a favor for somebody else, and it had nothing to do with with myself at all. But I used to allow that to really beat me up. But as I've done it for so long, I've realized that there's so many circumstances that are out of my control with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also had people in the freelance world that were competition do really shady stuff to me and to sabotage to get jobs that I was booking. And I just have to like let that go. It used to be really angry about a couple situations, but I had to let it go because I was like, you know what? I'm going to go lead my career with integrity.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I know that I followed my morals. And I also believe that if you get something that kind of way, it's going to turn back. Karma's going to turn back around.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be there to swoop in and be, they can trust me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the rejection's a little bit different, like from in front of the camera versus behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still hard to deal with.
It is. It's hard because it's your livelihood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Goodness, Kyle, if I had dealt with what you're dealing with and knew about this kind of thing, oh, I'd be so upset. I'd be so mad. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah. These are like some very famous artists. No, I can't.
Lucy, where's my tea?
Yeah, I know. You're sitting here being so sweet about it. I'm like, is she gonna spill it? Like, is this what's happening?
No, I can't. Oh my God. No, that could literally be a lawsuit.
Oh goodness. Rejection for me, I do feel like a lot of this rejection could be very indirect. And as we're talking, it's hard to know. It's hard to even guess what's in other people's minds. And so your mind is going into many different places. And I mean, of course, that's not healthy. We will never know what someone else thinks. And we can guess all we want, but all you can do is really come to the table with your best work. If you're dealing with shady characters, I'm not entirely sure how to handle, Kyle. But but for the most, I don't think that's happened to me per se. But I can tell you that I try. It's a little bit of both. I can feel negative about it, where I'm beating myself up, and a lot of times it'll be for castings. Maybe for a casting where I think, you know what, this is a perfect fit. I totally could see myself. There's no reason why I shouldn't book this. I kind of have that in my mind just as a positive thing. So, if I say something, or I don't know, it could be any little thing. I can tear myself up about it later.
Yes.
But if it's a hold, let's say for a client I never met, or a client where my agent just submitted my pictures, I can't even be mad at that. They haven't met me yet. I mean, that's how I put it in my head.
That's a good perspective. Yeah.
Like, they haven't met me, they haven't even seen me, they haven't seen how I work. So there's still opportunity in the future. And I have been on hold for clients and have gotten it maybe like 3 times after a hold. And then I know once I show up to the job, I have an opportunity to make a good impression.
That's a really good outlook. That is, I actually, that really just touched on me, because I'm like, hold on, that is a good point. Like, they haven't met you. Whereas me, like I said, I'm like, why don't they love me? Like, why aren't they booking me?
Should be love at first sight of the picture.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you feel about some of the differences between like mainstream kind of fashion and plus size fashion? And like, who do you kind of look to for like style inspiration?
Oh gosh, I'm a big fan of Jasmine Tooks. Are you guys familiar with the Victoria's Secret Angel Jasmine Took?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Which one? Oh, yes. Yes. I was gonna say, I know. Yes. Okay. Yes. I do love her.
Oh my gosh. You guys like have like a connection. You just looked at each other and knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell her. Like, I'm pulling up her thing right now. Yes.
The last Victoria's Secret fashion show, we watched it together.
Ooh. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So I was gonna say, I love her.
Yes.
I love the art of runway walking. Like, I really do. And I get so hyped for some of the big runway models. Like, there's so many that I just
cool.
Yes, I get so, and I love too when and it's sad because there's not as many plus size runway models as there was a few years ago. And
I mean, I was gonna say, like, I feel like being a runway model and a plus size model is almost a rarity. It's not something that's interchangeable. It's not something that you see often. So, like, as far as differences between straight size and plus size, I think we might deal with a completely different set of pressures. Where with straight size, it's still very much having to worry about being how thin you are. In plus size, I feel like we have a bit of leeway. Kris, let me know what if you also agree. But I think we have a bit of leeway. It's almost like if you aren't like a size 4, anything above that is plus size, and you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
Which is a huge range. And also a little bit confusing too, because if you're size 6, you're like, oh, I'm a plus size model, like, a little strange for you.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. I think there's a huge difference there. I think that we don't really deal with the kind of pressures when it comes to eating. Like, going to my sets, like, they're catered. You can have the food. You're encouraged to eat food. Nobody's making comments. It seems very healthy. The clothes are comfortable. For me, I think it could be a very positive thing. What do you think, Kris?
I agree. I do feel like, I feel like a few years ago, there was more of a standard of sizing to be, say, a size 14. I feel like that
Mm.
was the central spot, and your measurements, your actual physical measurements had to align with like a 45 hip, whatever it was at the time. And I feel like since then, I do feel like there is a little bit more leeway where you can be like, I'm a size 16, 18. So it's like you don't have to fit like an exact size. Your measurements can be different. And as long as you're fitting into a certain size, then that's kind of what matters. Am I framing that right? Do you
Yes.
understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, you don't have to be like an exact measurement anymore. You just have to be able to fit the sizing. So I do see that there is the difference there. What do you feel in the sense of like the fashion choices? Like, do you feel like there's the same opportunities of style for plus size versus the standard size?
I don't think we're there yet. I think companies are making an effort. And I appreciate when companies actually show a straight size model and a plus size model,
Yeah.
modeling, just a different clothing. But certainly, finding unique styles, fashion, something that's fashion forward, maybe that can appeal to bigger markets like LA, like New York. That part is still, I have to do a lot of creative, finding in order to really find it. It's not, that part is not easy. What do you think about that?
I feel like as a plus size woman, when it comes to style, just cut the cold shoulders. Like, I feel like they kind of have like a certain style that they think we love, like a cold shoulder, where it's like the hole in the shoulder is like, why? I feel like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's what a cold shoulder is. Literally, like you can feel the
yes, the cold shoulder
in your
tops.
shoulder.
You never see that in like mainstream fashion. Like, I feel like there's still this mindset with certain types of styles and clothes that's like, oh, the big girls love this one, and it's like, no, man, like nobody wants a cold shoulder. But like, I feel like we got really progressive there for a minute in size inclusivity, and then now all of a sudden there's been another shift back. Like, you're right, like the plus size models that are walking runway now, they're always the same girls, and that's great. Keep walking. However, let's keep you walking, and they were adding in other girls, and now it's like none at all. Like, the statistics of the fashion week and how much of a percentage of curve models were included, it's like 1%, or I don't know the stats offhand, but it's so low, and they've all dropped consecutively throughout the years.
Yeah. And it's the same
Someone
fuel
had
they use.
Absolutely. Someone had made the comment, let me know if you agree with this comment, but they said that the plus size models that you do see, these clothes can be custom for them, but it's not necessarily things that you find in the store.
Yes.
So it's definitely celebrating that particular model, but not necessarily celebrating the people that look like the model. That's, they're out in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's my biggest thing, because I'm like a 22, 24, and I want to take a fashion risk. I want to wear something just as fashion forward, like, you know what I mean? I want to have my like serve moment, like, going out or something. Like, I really want to push the limit. And I feel like a lot of the plus size clothes, especially when you get up into the 20s and mid 20s, it really starts to get toned down. And and I'm like, no, I want to be as high fashion as possible. I want to push those limits. And I, because if I'm going out to the club or something like that, like, I want a look that's very sexy, and I want something that's going to do, and there may not be a huge market for like, some like very clubby type of clothes, you know what I mean, I guess, or something. And that's what I love about the designer who makes the jumpsuit that I'm wearing right now. The entire purpose of her line, it goes from an extra small to a 5X is she was like, I want all of the clothes to be as bold patterns. Like this is a toned down pattern for her line. And she does that because she says, even though I'm a plus size woman, and she's like, I want to walk out the door and I don't want to hide. I want people to look at me and be like, I am proud of this, you know, and I'm willing to stand out, to be bold and just really embrace all of this. And her whole line is about embracing these bright, bold patterns because she's like, I shouldn't have to hide because I'm a bigger size.
You're touching on something, Kyle. That's huge. There are plus size women that want to be bold and we don't want to hide.
Yes.
And what do our clothes really say about, us to society? I'm picking something to hide flaws, imperfections, and most I can do is the, what you call it, keyhole, the cold shoulder. That's the most I can do. Well, no, many of us aren't afraid to be bold. And I think, if you want to cover up, that's absolutely, your right to do so. And I'm glad that we have so many options. But when we want to be bold, there's so many of us that really would love a space, would love a line that embraces that. And so I think that designers could be missing out on a huge opportunity here.
Exactly. How do people usually react when you say I'm a model?
Oh, I've gotten the gamut. I do feel like this is a plus size thing because I feel like if I was a waif and I'm tall, I'm 5'10", then it would make sense to many people. But I have said that. I've said I'm a plus size model, and then I've gotten, like for Instagram, for OnlyFans, and I'm like, OnlyFans? No, I'm with Ford Motors.
Yeah.
and I'm like, no, like Ford models? Where? Who? Like, bless your heart.
No, I totally get it. I feel like and it is funny right now because like a few years ago you say I'm a model and people would automatically just be like, and then I'd be like, I'm a plus size model. Like I have to, we do have to say it. But now it's right. It's like, oh, like OnlyFans, or like they can't wrap their head around that. It's like, no, like I'm actually like a signed professional model, and their mind just doesn't go there. It automatically goes to, oh, like Instagram, like, oh, you're an influence. You know what I mean? Like they kind of minimize it a bit, which that's not something to minimize, but like they can't just go to like, oh yeah, Ford models, like top agency model, like
it can be really shocking. And you're right, you do have to say plus. You have to say it. Even though it's obvious, right? You're looking at me and we're talking. I don't think people are aware what plus size models do and like what our days, what our jobs can look like, or who we're shooting for, things like that. The next question I will usually get is like, oh, do you do Fashion Week? And it's just like we were saying. It could be it's a very special thing to be a plus size model and to do Fashion Week. So I was like, oh, I do e-commerce, I do editorials, and you have to kind of do a lot of explaining versus if I was skinnier, would I get those questions?
No. I just think sometimes it's almost one thing you just kind of have to laugh it off. It's just like, how are you like really like you don't get it? Like you're making me explain this. So it's like you almost have to frame it as like, I'm a professional model. I'm a professional.
I hate that when people have that like bias automatically, and it's like, no. And I think having models of all like looks and sizes and whatever is so important, because when you're going into a store, it can be intimidating, or going to a website, and when you see someone that looks like you see a body type like you see someone who whatever, you're like, okay. And especially with diversity and things too, you're like, okay, well, this clothes, you feel welcome by seeing something similar to yourself. And I think it's also important too that when people have models, even like, in wheelchairs or different things, and it's like, those people should feel accepted. They should feel like they're being seen by public and in the world. And it means so much to people to see something similar to themselves in media, in an ad, in a storefront, like in the, what do they call it? The mall or whatever, or something. And in just even in the e-commerce, I mean, just to see clothes, like I don't like to shop for clothes if I can't see it on a plus size body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to see how it fits, and with the links, how it, fits and like looks.
It fits completely differently from a straight size body to a plus size body. And even in plus size, there's many different types of plus size bodies. So, having that diversity there is important. And, you're quite right. When you see yourself or something different, someone different looking at you from a billboard, in a picture, I think that's almost like a stamp of the standard of beauty. And it might be subconscious, something that we're taking in, but I think it's important. I also think something that's not really touched on is youth. We're young women, but at the same time, like we're not seniors. And what if I'm a senior and I want to buy some makeup and I want to buy, yes, I can look at this outfit on this young person, but what is it going to look like on me?
Yeah.
And I certainly don't feel as though I see enough seniors modeling. They're a whole shopping segment, and that's also being not looked at and looked over. So, yeah.
No, I agree with that.
And I love that. There's a few designers who have started to throw some people of different ages and they get scattered in there a little bit, and I thought that was very,
and I think it's important because I don't feel like you just reach a certain age and you're like, oh, don't want to try anymore. Like, I don't want to look cute, like they need to really consider that. So what drives you to model? Like, is there a bigger purpose behind your modeling? Explain that to me. I think
my bigger purpose would be inspiration for people that look like me. I have a particular body type. It's not like the perfect figure eight, kind of body type, but it's mine. And there are a lot of people, who look like me, who want to feel seen, who want to feel comfortable in the clothing that they wear. And I just want to be like a physical representation for many people that look like me. And it's very exciting to be able to have that opportunity. So.
I get what you mean. And you know what? I did a really deep dive on your Instagram. And I think one thing, and I'm not even just saying this, is that when you look at a picture of you, and I think that this is really cool, is that you give off such like a genuine, like confident vibe about you. So I think that like, obviously that's one of the reasons why you're a great model. But I think that if I'm someone who's looking at you and we have two different body types or whatever, but let's say I had your body type and I was looking at you, I'd be like, she is fierce and she is confident and she's like, yes, like I can be this person because like, look at her, she's doing it and she's like so confident. Like you carry yourself very well. Like I'm talking like I'm an agent now, but like, I'm just saying like it's really cool. Like there's this really nice, genuine sense of confidence. So you're doing a great job. You're doing great, sweetie. No, you're doing great. I am a fangirl. Now, if you had any advice to any new faces, what would it be? Because this industry, it can rip you apart. Yeah. It's tough. Like, what would it be?
Do you mean like as far as how to get into modeling, or specifically once you're in?
Once you're in, let's say.
Okay. So for once you're in, I would definitely say, of course, get your Instagram up. And when I say that, I mean, often the requests that I get is to really show who you are. Anak, the amazing model. Are you guys familiar with Anak?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, my gosh. She was discovered on Instagram, which is really amazing. But just like have your essence of who you are be shown through Instagram or through your social media. And, cut out a unique style for yourself. I think modeling is one of those industries where you can let your freak flag fly, as they say.
Yep.
So, the things that maybe you were teased about, honestly will be gorgeous. Perhaps you were a beanpole, but now, what, you can walk the runway. Maybe you have freckles and you're like, oh gosh, I want to hide my freckles. No, in modeling, that's really embraced. You could have, crazy hair, and the wild hair, the better. When I went natural, that was when I started modeling, and it was completely embraced. And I get so excited that people want to see the natural me. So definitely that would be my advice. Of course, confidence when walking into castings. And also what we touched on earlier, not rejection can be hard, but it's a blessing if it is indirect. And, just don't let it deter you. Keep your eye on the prize of what you're trying to do. And then just try it. Like, just be happy that you're in the room. Because, I know, like, I feel so blessed. And, I feel very accomplished with what I've done, regardless, of how everything is. And I'm just happy to be there. So,
and you know what? And that's the type of attitude, though, I think that will just continue to flourish your career, is just being grateful that you're in the room, because in this industry, it is very hard to get into some of those rooms. So if you're in the room, like, that is a great piece of advice. Like, be grateful that you're there, like, and not just like in a spiteful way of like, be thankful you're here, but more just like really take in the gratitude of that, because it's easy to get caught up in it and just be like, okay, like, I'm always doing this. This is my everyday now. But it's like, no, like you're up against so many people. And if you're the one that gets to step in for the opportunity, it is a big deal. So,
we had done an episode on, living in your unique self. And one of the topics was truly like, there's something, you could have something about yourself that sets you apart from other people. And it's very easy for that to be your biggest insecurity. But most of the time, that is your biggest like positive. That's your, that's what you really have to offer, is your uniqueness, what is different. And to embrace that and to feel confident about that is what's really going to excel you and make you stand out, versus it's so falling into easily being insecure about something that makes you stand out.
Absolutely.
Your uniqueness
100%.
is your superpower.
Yes.
Okay.
As Beyonce says, unique.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So before we wrap up here, we're going to do a quick round of cute or creepy. So we're going to ask you just some quick questions and a speed round, and you let me know if you think it's cute or you think it's creepy.
Okay.
Cute or creepy? The inside of your model bag. Cute? Can you tell us 3 things that are in your model bag?
I have like 20 things. Pedals, strapless bra, skin tone bras.
Okay. What was the first one?
Pedals.
What is
well, so on some shoots, sometimes we have to cover.
the pedals. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I am so just trashy. Like, you're calling it such a beautiful. I'm like, nipple covers. Those sticky nipple cover things.
Pedals.
Oh my gosh. Okay, a new thing in my head. Thank you.
Digitals.
Creepy.
Cute. There is nothing worse than taking your digitals and then getting them back, and you're like, how am I a model?
Exactly. Exactly. And then they're like, oh, it's beautiful. I'm like, no.
No, it is not. Like, I need all the lights blasted on me. I need, like, can we touch this up? Like, you're not supposed to wear any makeup in your digitals. And like,
it's a setup. It's a setup, Kris. It feels like a setup.
Okay. Inseam measurements.
Creepy. I was asked for my calf measurement the other day.
Okay, can you tell us about this? Because here's another thing about being freelance is you need to be prepared and ready to go at all times. Especially as a model, you never know when you're going to get a call in. So very quickly, tell us the calf story.
I'm just running around New York City, and my agent's like, please, now I need a calf measurement. And I just had to go into a store, get a measuring tape. And I realized, wow, okay, maybe I need to bring my measuring tape with me. Because I don't know my calf measurement. I don't know my my underarms, inseam or anything like that. But yeah, you have to be ready at all times.
All
Oh my God.
times.
I just picture you going to a store and be like, "Excuse me, would you have a measuring tape?"
Yeah, I need to measure my calves.
And you just like kick your leg up there and measure
The dollar store is actually really great for it. So luckily I was
Yes.
driving, so but if I was just kind of walking around, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, it's an adventure.
Yeah.
I don't understand this one, but having your beautiful coat caught in a wheel.
Oh, you did do an Instagram deep dive.
I did.
Oh, I was like, wait, am I out of the loop?
Are you on my second account? Because I posted that on a story. Okay. So
I found it. So
Okay. Kris with her investigative journalism. Okay. So I was just riding around the city. I'd like to do city bikes in the city with my friend, and I had my coat flapping in the wind. I loved this coat, guys. It was a very light coat, and of course, my friend is taking a video of me, and I'm looking like Superman, just going down the west side, and then of course, fate happens. The coat gets trapped within the back wheel, and I just go down, and so it was so sad and tragic. I looked like roadkill, and so
No.
did the coat. So.
I
R.I.P. to that coat.
saw the video and I think I sent it to you and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like you look so angelic. And then it was like an hour later, you're like, oh my God, I went down. Like
Yes. Oh gosh, it was really funny and also very typical me. So
Yeah, I
my mom
love
was just
it.
laughing. A lot of people were concerned. It really was. I was fine. It was good.
Okay. Cute or creepy location jobs?
Oh, cute.
The cutest.
1000%. Yes, please. Oh my God.
We met on a location job.
That's why I'm looking at her. I'm like, when is this going to sink in? It's coming up.
We were at a golf course
Yes.
selling prom dresses.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, she did my hair for the shoot. And I was in prom
Oh.
dresses all day. That's how we
That's how you
met.
guys know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
We just instantly were like, we're gonna be friends.
We're friends now. Yeah.
There's a special bond with your hair person. I mean, it's special. So of course you have a great amount of time to be able to really get to know each other. in that shoot.
Yes.
So yeah.
Well, also, I think it was just like the other models were like in high school, like they were going to a prom,
Yes.
and we were like adults, and we're like,
I was like, oh, I don't know why I'm shooting this dress, but whatever. And there were so many weird vibes. The whole thing was just, we were connecting on like the weird vibes that were going on. Like we knew we were going to be friends because throughout this shoot, we just kept kind of like giving side eye, like, what is happening? Anyways, next one.
country glam outfits.
Country glam?
Yes.
Oh yeah, then that's cute.
It's cute. Like
Yes.
those hats that you pulled out that were like,
I mean, I'm ready for Cowboy Carter. So yes, I love that country is having this fashion moment.
Yeah.
Very much needed.
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, capris.
Not cute. Yeah, no, creepy.
Wearing capris.
Kick your leg up.
Oh my God,
I'm just kidding.
I love capris. But this
Can
is
I
so
take back my answer?
no, it's so funny because we were just recently talking about one of my highlights recently was that I'm so happy capris are back, and I'm like, you either love it or you hate it. So I had to know. Okay, next one.
6-inch heels.
No, it's not that it's creepy. It's just not for me.
It's just not practical.
Yeah.
It's not practical.
Okay, photographers that won't let you have your partner on set.
It's creepy to me. A lot of photographers do not allow you to have anybody. You can't bring anybody, and I'm like, I don't know you. Kind of,
Yeah,
I should be allowed one person that behaves, and just give us guidelines. That's it.
exactly.
Yes.
Well, this has been so much fun. I think this is wrapping up our time. I feel like it's just completely flown by. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, MJ, for coming on. It's been so much fun. You've given us such insight, such inspiration. You're just a beautiful ray of light. No,
Thank
you are like, I just feel like your energy throughout the whole thing has just been like so
Yes.
serene.
So serene. And I cannot wait to see your Cowboy Carter outfits.
Oh my gosh. I know you have to
Oh
keep
my
us
gosh.
posted.
I will be posting that. I mean, this is iconic. The fact that Beyonce is doing all of this, I can't wait to show you. So yes, we need a group chat where I can share it too.
Oh my God, I love group chat. I'm so excited. Like, it's happening. Well, guys, thank you
so much.
Thank you. And thank you so much for listening. And we will see you next week.
Hey, bye.
Bye.